Alright, this is a video on point and figure using the 1-point figure chart, the Wyckoff style, and I'm going to start going over it. So what you see here, along with some other markets, we'll cover the YM, and what I plan on doing is covering the few markets every day, same markets over and over again, so just to keep consistent. YM, gold, yen, euro, probably treasuries, and crude. So what you see here is you had an uptrend, and over here where there's an uptrend, you basically had a break, and you had price break the 20 and the 50. Alright, now when you're taking a look at the 1-point figure chart, it's different than obviously different than 3-point figure chart, and it's a Wyckoff style chart, and the benefit of this is it's used for projections. That's the key benefit of it. But there are other benefits of the 1-point figure chart that you're not going to find anywhere else, particularly identifying lack of demand or lack of supply, or what Wyckoff called the hinge. I'm going to go over that. Anyway, so you have this uptrend, then you have this sideways movement, and then you have a break. That break takes out this low. This is the low before the high. Once this is taken out, the low before the high, which is also known as ice, many folks refer to it as ice, in the Wyckoff terminology of ice and creek. And the key is that the low before the high needs to be taken out, and it's taken out here as the price goes below the 20 and the 50 EMAs or SMAs, whatever they are. Then what you really want to do is look for three things in you have to look for three things. The most bases, first of all, you take a look at the base, and then in that base you're gonna look for three things. Alright, what are those three things? The three things, the first thing is that A, it has to be a base, B, it has to have a hinge, and C, there needs to be a rally up or rally down. Now obviously this is a base. What you have is a base right here. Base is you have like a consolidation block or a trading range, but it has certain characteristics, okay, and you have that base, and then you have to have a hinge. Now the hinge is so incredibly important, and this is what no one uses in a point figure, but it's extremely important because it's only found in a 1-point figure chart, and it's only found in the Wyckoff 1-point point figure chart. It's this: the X and the O in the same columns, like right here, X and O in the same column before a break on the right hand side. Okay, X and O in the same column on the right hand side before a break with a base. So first you see the base, then you see the hinges. See this X before the O's? That's a hinge, and then finally you have a break. And this is how I like the breaks. One X with at least 3 O's. It should be a 4. I like it to have at least 4 columns. You could also use average true range of 1.2. So average true range of 1.2 times the average true range. So the range is at least 1.2 times the average true range of say 14 or 20 bars, that has potential for a rally. Anyway, so you see this climax or buying climax, whatever it is, but the fact that it gets taken out here with hinges in the background, with hinges. You got a hinge here, and then you have 4 bar break. That's a valid break. Now you can take a look at the volume, and if you do, you see that the volume increased on this break. It really is important to have high volume breaks, but I've seen many times where volume, you see the volume breaks, typically they require time. for that volume to accumulate. So you can have a break, but sometimes that break doesn't have high volume, and that's not because the bar itself doesn't have high volume. It's typically the volume is still coming in. So on a 5-minute chart, the first 5-minute bar will not have volume, but if you have 10-minute, 15-minute, eventually the volume will accumulate. That's the first thing. The second thing is with volume is sometimes you could have ease of movement. The break on low volume is actually important because it shows ease of movement. Now, these are more advanced concepts, but the point is, like if you do see a high volume break of the high before the low and you have hinges and all of that, that's important. So this was the break right here that you see. You have your base, you have your hinge, and then you have the break. I love it when the hinge is before the break and the break is on high volume, because I mean it's very clear. So now you get to the more complicated piece, which is how to do a count. Alright, the way you do a count, or the way I learned it, or if you take a look at Wyckoff's material, is you go to the top and you look for lines of distribution. Okay, you have to find a line of distribution. Each line has a potential count. Up here you have a potential count. Next line has a potential, third line has a potential, fourth line has a potential. Each line in the base has a potential. Okay, each line in the base has a potential, and when you do the count, you're supposed to include white spaces. So when you do the count, first of all you look for the rally. This is the break before the rally, and here's your count. Okay, your count, it will include the white spaces over here. That's the way I do it. You don't have to do it like that. What you want to do is if you want to know how Wyckoff did it, he did include white spaces, by the way. What you can do is you can verify that by taking a look at his course, and from there. Okay, now the way you can do the count is you could do it off the extreme or against the last point of support or the last point of supply, LPS or LPSY. That count is, where's all this, is right here. That's your last point of supply before the break, hinge, break. So if you do it off, you could do it off here, and you could do it off the top. Okay, and in fact you could do it off every line in between, and you could even do it off the lines after that. The way Wyckoff did it, he always considered, he considered many things. So I'm not really talking about what he did, I'm talking about what I did. And I'm using this line right here as the line to use. Why I like to do it is because I want to use this line here, because that's just me being consistent. You could use the top, but you get very conservative counts, and these are much better for counter trends. Go for the move, and this is fine. This is a good place to start off with, but that doesn't mean that once it goes to the target it's gonna stop. After that, what Wyckoff did is, after he used this, then he would use the count across the next last point of supply, which could occur after the break. You could use the last point of supply before, or the last point, and then after it tags that amount, that count, you can take the next line depending on how it moves. But in any case, how many boxes is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is 12 boxes, and if you do the count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exactly. Counts have that. I mean, let me just go over this. When you do the count, it's from the left to the right, I use the last point of supply, and then from that I count. When I count, I use the next lower box. I don't include the box itself. 1 is not the box itself, it's the 1 is the next box. Okay, so that's the way it's done. Here you just have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is an exact count. It, you know, a lot of times it hits the exact count. A lot of times it goes 1 less, and many times it goes you know, it'll be 1 more, you know, 1 more box. It's pretty interesting how this works out. The key is it took out ice, there was a hinge, there was a rally break. The rally is on high volume. That's very important. The volume have follow through. See that? You got follow through after the rally. The only thing that's confusing is when you have to combine bases. That gets really confusing. So what you really want to do is use a basic base, you know, just a base, and unless you have clear evidence on the bar chart of heavy accumulation distribution, don't put your hopes up. Alright, so as you can see, we took the line across the LPSY. From the LPSY, you started counting from 1 to 12, and then you place your order there to exit right there. Now the next count is it's gonna be here somewhere. Oh boy, this is a big base. Yeah. So I mean, this is an art. But again, where's the rally? The rally is right here. You know, I don't really see a hinge here. This is a hinge. These are hinges, hinge, hinge, hinge. So you have a bunch of hinges. You have an attempt. It failed, and then finally it rallied here. Anyway, so where is the base here? That's what you have to figure out, and there are many ways to do this. The rallies here. The last point of support must be here. Therefore, this is one base off of this line. That's a base. That's 22. This has a pretty nice target. You know, so I'll see how this works out, but I like the rally here. As you can see, it's on high volume. See that? The volume did come in on the rally, and you have follow through. You kind of have the hinges back over here. There's heavy volume in the background as well. This area of heavy volume, which attempt didn't really, you know, it's been taken out. That's extremely bullish. When heavy volume like this comes down and is taken out to the upside, that is really bullish, because all those guys who sold, they need to cover. That's why. Alright, we're done with this video. Thank you very much.